Every time you say yes to something that you don't want to do, you're actually saying no to yourself. Yes, think about that. That extra shift you took up knowing that you are truly exhausted. That event that you agreed to attend to when you know truly well that you needed rest. That favor that you agreed to do when you know the stress involved, that it will stress you out. And eventually it stressed you out. Each of these is a quiet betrayal of your own needs, your own time, your own boundaries. Yes. So let me ask you, what is the cause of your guilt? Because I know many of us are not really afraid of saying no. What we are afraid of is the consequences of our saying no. What comes after our saying no? Most times we are scared of people thinking that we will betray them, that we've said no to them because we are selfish, because we don't love them. They'll see us as unfriendly, as selfish, as rude, as not being reliable. Yes, we've been there. We've faced so many of these challenges. We've said no to people and they considered us less a friend, all because we needed our time. We said yes to our own needs. Here is what they don't tell you. It is you pulling closer to yourself, getting to know yourself and your worth. Yes, saying no is not a rejection. It is a declaration. It is not pushing people away. It is pulling yourself into alignment. Yes, and yet the guilt is there. We've been there. But here is the thing. We've all said no to people and they felt bad and we felt guilty. Yes, the guilt is always there. Sometimes. But I want you to know something. That guilt is not a moral compass. Sometimes it's a habit. We've all been there. We've all said no to some certain things. We've all chosen our time, ourselves, in some certain times over some people. And they tagged us bad. They called us names. We felt guilty about that. This guilt is as a result of many years of cultural indoctrination. Of people teaching us that we need to please people always. That we need to be selfless. That we need to be there for everybody at any time. Not minding our own time, whether it's convenient for us. This is actually the basis of us feeling guilty. By the many years of culture trying to make us to equate selflessness to worthiness. And also by the culture that praises us for being agreeable to people rather than being authentic. Let's reframe this. Saying no isn't being unkind. But saying yes when you actually meant to say no is the one thing that should be tagged unkind. Because it is a fake yes. You didn't mean it. It is not authentic. It didn't come from the heart. That is a big lie that you are telling to yourself. That is a burnout waiting to happen. That is your self-respect shrinking without you knowing. You may ask, now how would we now say no without feeling guilty? Yes, you may ask, how do we now say no without feeling guilty? Let's talk real strategies. Yes, the first, you need to get clear on your why. The reason why you are saying no. If you are saying no to guard yourself, to guard your energy, to save yourself, that is a powerful yes to your own life. Because it is a sincere no that came from the heart. It is not a fake lie. That clarity heals guilt. The second, use a language that is clear, firm, and kind. You can try this. I really appreciate you thinking of me, but I can't really take this right now. Or you can say, that sounds like a great opportunity, but I really need to pass so that I can focus on other commitments. Or there are many things. Or you can say, I appreciate you. Thank you for this offer, but I really need to prioritize something more personal. I have to decline now. In a very kind, firm language. You see? Now, did you notice something? You are not apologizing. You are not over-explaining. You are just being honest. And straight to the point. I know also that you may be thinking, what if they get upset? You're not responsible for other people's emotions. Yes, what they think. You're responsible for your integrity. You're responsible to disappoint others. Yes, you can disappoint others to save yourself and not to abandon yourself. If someone's respect is based on your constant compliance, my friend, that is not respect. That is control. I remember one time I found it difficult to say no to people. I took jobs. Whenever you ask me something, I'll say, yes, I can do it. Can you do this? Yes. My no was very difficult to give. And it got to a point. I was really exhausted. I was tired. I was worn out. But I couldn't say no. But I asked myself, what if I get to really run crazy because of this? And the very first time I said no, guess what? People were mad. They saw me as a bad person, that I begin to get selfish, but I don't like people again. All this while I was saying yes, I was the nicest person on earth. They saw me as a very kind person, easygoing. Whatever they ask, and who can do this? Talk to Obina. Who can do this? Talk to Obina. Hey, talk to Obina. Obina became that very guy that you can actually ask for anything and get yes in return. It was weighing me down. But guess what? When I said no, and after all those battles and all those guilt tripping, my dear, I survived. And now I can actually say yes when I meant to say yes. And no when I know that I will lose myself in the process of saying yes. So whenever you know that there is a misalignment with your own goals, with your own time, with your own self, yes, you can say no with love. From your heart, be unapologetic with it. Say no when you actually mean it. That doesn't mean that when you really need to help people, but you can't sacrifice to say yes to help. There's a difference between the two. But when it is overwhelming, too much that your hands are filled with duty, that taking one extra chore, one extra shift, one extra event, one extra favor will weigh you down. My dear, say no to your full chest. Yes, say no. Be from your heart. You don't need to apologize. Mean it with love, with kindness, and be firm about it. Also know this, your no doesn't make you less loving. It makes your yes more honest. You don't owe everybody the right to your energy. Rather, you owe yourself that right to guard it. Know that you can actually say no confidently, comfortably, without feeling guilty, without explaining yourself. When you know that your no means a no and a yes to yourself, to saving yourself from being overwhelmed. People pleasing can be damaging to ourselves. Know when to say yes and when to say no. Until we meet again, kindly click the subscription button, the notification bell to know when the next episode drops. Thank you.